Please support the initiative. Please subscribe and please like. Subutai was the general and the primary military strategist of Genghis Khan. He holds the record of the maximum pitch battle victories than any other commander in history. The territory conquered by him for his Khans surpasses that of Alexander the Great, and therefore he was the key contributor in building the status of invincibility of the Mongols. Born to a blacksmith, Subutai was only 14 when he was recruited in the army of the Great Khan. Initially assigned as an apprentice to the legendary Jebe, he went on to become the greatest general of the Mongols. The major reason for his high success rate was innovation and his pure instinct. Some of the trademark maneuvers used by Subutai were feigning retreat and then suddenly turning back and surprising the enemy with a full-fledged assault through an ambush, encircling the enemy by successfully coordinating with his armies separated by large distances, by passing strongholds and destroying all its resistance forces around the fort, blockading all routes to the stronghold and harassing the defenders by hurling rock boulders and carcasses of animals and humans inside the city, harassing enemies using horse archers, retreating on being followed, turning back and attacking again. Use of smoke bombs to conceal troop movements. Use of siege weapons to break the enemy formations and unleashing the cavalry. Use of spy network to track enemies' movements and garrison, and attacking and plundering the least protected towns. All these maneuvers made Subutai unstoppable. Subutai was instrumental in delivering victory to Genghis Khan during the Genghis-Khwarezmian conflict in the 12th century. Jebe and Subutai delivered multiple wins for the Great Khan, defeating much bigger armies of Muhammad II of the Khwarezmian Empire using unorthodox battle maneuvers. In the battle near the Irgis River in 1219, Subutai was attacked by a massive force headed by Shah himself. But Subutai did not let the volume dominate his intelligence. He first harassed the enemy with arrows. On being chased, he retreated and then suddenly turned back and again harassed Shah's left flank. Then retreated again and then suddenly ordered a full-fledged frontal assault, breaking the enemy's formation, forcing Muhammad II to flee the battlefield. Few months later, Subutai marched and crossed the deadly Kizil-Kum desert and emerged behind the Khwarezm defense at Bukhara and thus easily captured the city in no time. Like this, Subutai and Jebe delivered many victories to their Khan during the invasion of the Khwarezmian Empire and disintegrated Shah's empire, leading him to run from one corner to another, thus depleting Muhammad's health, resulting in his death. Once Muhammad died, Jebe requested Genghis Khan to continue with the invasion for few more years before returning back to Mongolia via Caucasus. During this time, Subutai and Jebe plundered many cities in Middle East through surprise attacks and defeated and wounded the Georgian king through an ambush attack. While returning back to Mongolia in 1223 through Caucasus, Subutai and Jebe met the combined forces of Russian royalties and Cuman Khans. Being heavily outnumbered, the Mongols feigned a 9-day-long retreat, deliberately leaving their looted booty in between so as to make the chasing army believe that the Mongols were petrified and wanted to escape at the earliest. As a result, the Rus armies started to disintegrate so as to catch up with the retreating Mongols. As they crossed Kalka river in a disarray fashion, being extremely confident, the Mongols, in a surprise move, attacked the Rus army's vanguard. They showered arrows after arrows on the army, and with river behind their back and nowhere to retreat, the Rus army panicked and were easily routed by Mongol cavalry assault. Another army led by Prince Stislav of Chernigov was subsequently enveloped and annihilated. The Russian army was defeated and the Mongols returned back to Mongolia. Soon afterwards, his long-term companion Jebe died. Later, Subutai was sent as a principal general to conquer Xiazi Empire, Jin Empire, Sog Empire, Russia, Poland, and Hungary. The great commander succeeded in all campaigns, successfully encircling the enemy, attacking from different sides, in which few were feints while others were the real attacks. Thus, he always confused and surprised the enemy by attacks from undefended sites. By the time the enemy received the information in regards to the breach, Subutai's main army was deep inside the enemy's territory. Now, as the defenders turned back to face the Mongols' main army inside their territory, the other smaller Mongol armies started to play their role. They followed, they harassed the defenders from behind, showering arrows after arrows, retreated on being chased, ultimately enveloping the entire army of the enemy. By early 1242, Subutai had plans to invade the Holy Roman Empire, but turned back at the news of Genghis Khan's death and a revolt by the Cumans in Russia. In 1248, at the age of 72, Subutai died, but left an everlasting legacy behind. Subutai was a living legend, a master of strategy who orchestrated unorthodox battle maneuvers and unleashed hell upon the enemy, making Genghis Khan the most feared human being in the world.